joking. I'm joking. But if I had to put predictions out there, I don't know. FIFA has been really quick. I've never seen Truly race, I'll be honest. And Fozzie's put in a very good P2 as well. I'm hoping that Bat McLean has joined the session back. I haven't seen his name pop up. So it might be a ghosted car in P3. But it is now 28, so any second now the race should begin. And it's going to be a sweaty one. Brazil always is very sweaty. DRS Train Central, as we do have the start of the race now. 5 red lights here in F1 Broke Boys Tier 1. And we are racing. And it's a great start now from Fozzie. I believe he's pulled up alongside Truly. And I stand corrected as we go 3 wide into turn 1. Benjok has just about pushed wide his championship rival and is up into P3. Runnard has not had a great start back down in P7. Let's get these tyres and everything up. Full track map. There we go. And let's see the strategies. It's very mixed down at the bottom there. We have some soft compound runners. Sem has retired from the race. Not a great start for the Ferraris. Although the whole pack is now in a Ferrari sandwich. P1 and last place. Both Hasses down in P17 and P18. We have some guys on the hard compound tyres. P1 and P2 for instance. We have Venjok, who's going to be on fresh mediums and wants to get past these guys up at the front here. Now that his championship rival, like I mentioned, it is down in P7. I think they did go 3 wide into that first corner as they top 3 nearly break DRS. I'm thinking Bat McLean is now back in the lobby. And he's retired from the session. And that is not where you want to retire. That has just caused absolute chaos. And Jelmer is the one who has come out worse. And trying to go for the safety car. I see what you're doing there, Jelmer. As a FIFA Lord, I can't believe he's retired there, I'll be honest. It's not ideal. Matt Coper has also got a 3-second penalty from that as well. Bat McLean leaves the session and leaves a sour taste in my mouth. Matt Coper has a little bit of a battle with Milan into turn number 4. And up into P4 for Milan Langer as he leads this massive train coming down into the sector 2. See there's moves going left, right and centre. Sem leaves the session. Lord James has a little bit of a look up the inside of Runnard. Obviously Runnard on them hard compound tyres. Gets a little bit of the grass there. He's going to be patiently waiting for these medium tyres to drop off and wait for that crossover point. It's Paul is now up to P9. I believe that he's battling with his teammate in a P9, P10 Mac attack. That's got to be surely 10 positions up for Paul. Let's have a quick little update on the position changes. See, Matt Coper is the one that has benefited the most from that incident at the start, up 8 places, but of course he does have that penalty. Fozzie with the fastest lap in P2, but it is Matt Coper who has gained the most. FIFA down 12 places. It's not been a good start for him. Paul and Partsville, both reserve drivers, up to P10 and P11. They've had a great start there. Same with Lord James as well in the Kick Sauber. Gone a little bit under the radar there. Let's switch back to the tyres so you guys can see who is on what strategy. Both Alpines have not had a great start. Jelmer is probably going to retire from the session now after speeding in the pit lane. I do stand corrected. Let's get rid of that spectator menu and get back to the race. And you can see the top 3 have got away from the pack, and there is a 2.7 gap between Venjok and Milan Langer. Like I say, it's a bit of a sweaty. Also, we have a bit of a battle going on back here. Lord James dives up the inside of Sakir, and Aloon might take advantage of this on the soft tyres. But yeah, this is going to be a massive DRS train now. If you can escape this, you are winning. It's, top 3 have proved. And these guys are going to have to work together to get back up into that front pack. So Truly and Fozzie now fighting for the lead, and Venjok is definitely got a good view of this. It's right on board with these guys as they are fighting out for the race lead. Truly is going to go back at Fozzie now. See what Venjok thinks about that. We do go side by side, a little bit of contact, but a good move from Truly nonetheless. So we have battles further back, Guapo getting past Runnard. And Fozzie is not giving up on this position. These guys are going to go side by side into the sector 2. A little bit more contact, and that is a little bit of a snap from Fozzie. I hope that was a snap and not a turn in. but that is now P1 for Truly once again. Fozzy hasn't missed out too much on the time. 1.9 seconds now between himself and Venjok. That has now brought Milan back into the action for potential podium position. You can see on the minimap in the bottom right that that train is massive. That goes all the way from P3 down to P14. P15, sorry. So we have another move. Venjok now making the most of their medium tyres. Gets past Truly, and Truly is not going to like that at all. Using up a bit of ERS down into the centre S is passable with the fastest lap. Shortly followed by Mac Attack. And I think Venjok is now going to get away on their medium tyres. He's not burning in ERS. He just has the tyre advantage. As we catch our breath now on lap number 5, we have moves going on further back with Mac Attack and Sakir going side by side into the Sector 2 split. Little bit of a stab there from Sakir, but he does manage to save it. And up to P12 for Mac Attack, that is. So Milan is basically pushing Fozzy around the corners, coming up to the Sector 2 split. And he's going to be wanting to make the most of their medium tyres. Fozzy is a little bit lower on the ERS, 60% for the kick Sauber driver. Milan is on AE5 and pushing now. He should easily get the move down into turn 1 done. That doesn't mean Fozzy will not give it up without a fight. Just riding ball with this rear facing camera, as of course Fozzy will get the DRS down into Sector 1 split. Will he get the move done, as Milan does everything he can for Fozzy to not get past, and he does succeed for now. We have moves going on up front as Truly and Venjok are battling it out once again. Hartzell has just dropped out DRS of his teammate Runnard on the hard tyres. Runnard playing the waiting game, as Milan has a bit of a moment there. And this causes a whole lot of battles going up ahead. Fozzy, Aguapo and Matt Coper now going side by side as they slot back into uniform. A little bit of contact there from Runnard. I'm hoping Milan hasn't got any damage from that moment. I don't think he has. But like I say, if you can escape that DRS train, I think you're on for a bit of a winner. Is Matt Coper's penalty of 3 seconds, or is that caused by Bat McLean with that? Oh, it is at 10 seconds. And I do think that will be removed at the end of the race as we go back into the action. Venjok and Truly going side by side into the centre S's. And it is Truly that comes out on top. And I believe it will be Venjok who does get the DRS. All it takes is for an aggressive, as Venjok giving a little bit of a shake of the wheel there. I think these guys just want to work as a team to not get caught out by Matt Coper. We have Runnard and Aguapa going side by side, and a little bit of a force off there. It's a bit like Verstappen and Hamilton. There we go, Milan Langer straight back up the inside of Runnard, looking to make inroads after that mistake. Matt Cope with a 3-second time penalty, the first of the track limits here on lap 7. As the sweat fest continues, they are all separated by less than a second from P3 down to P15. We now come down to the start of lap number 8. Let's run on board with Fozzy as he's closing onto the back of Matt Coper. See in the distance Venjok staying behind Truly. Any moves into turn 1? I believe not. The gap has sort of stagnated between Venjok and Fozzy. They're sort of there, but if Venjok and Truly do keep battling, I do think Fozzy and these guys will just come straight back into the lead pack. It's 1.6 now the gap. It's to and fro in between 1.5 and 2 seconds. So the Alpine guys haven't had the best start to the race, P16, P17 respectively. So we start lap number 9 now, and Venjok. I think these guys have sort of clicked on now. The more they battle, the more they get closed down by the pack behind. Sakir and Paul are battling it out for P12, P13. Sakir now splits both William drivers. Alun now peels off into the pits. Yes, Sakir, you are getting a mention. Well done, mate. Bit of a shake of the wheel there, as TS has now dropped back from the leading pack. Not the leading pack, the mid pack, I'll say. Lord James now 1.7 seconds ahead of the Aston Martin driver. These guys are very close to each other, going down into sector 2. It's almost like Matt Coper has holding up these guys for a little bit. I'm not sure when that crossover point is going to come, but it is going to come soon. The guys are now using up their ERS. It's going to go 3 wide down into turn 1. Matt Coper narrowly avoids a little bit of contact. Aguapo now slots in behind Fozzie. Let's ride on board with Fozzie as we come up now to the second spout of DRS here in the Michigan Grand Prix, Brazilian Grand Prix. Venjok now moves up into the lead and overtakes Truly, and these guys are now 1.5 seconds adrift from this battling pack. Sakir now moving up another position into P11. No moves at all at the moment. These are all uniform, looking to work together, and you can see the gap now between Fozzie and Truly is 1.1 seconds. Fozzie is pushing to his absolute limit to get back into DRS of Truly. You can see he's nearly there. 1.0 seconds. I think he's just going to miss out. The DRS line, detection zone, sorry, is up here. You can see the gap is now 9/10. I think he's got it. He's got it. So if Truly now battles with Venjok, I think he might stick with DRS, and that now brings a whole gaggle of cars back into the contention of the lead of the Grand Prix. Truly is going to think about it up into the center S's, down at turn 2 and turn 3. You can see now 4/10 the gap now between Truly and Fozzie. And Aguapo's dropped off a little bit. I think Matt Cope had a little bit of a moment. Milan Langer is now up into P4, and I believe he was P6 at the end of that end of lap 10. So that's 2 positions he's now getting, the Aston Martin driver. You can see Truly's basically pushing Venjok around the corner there. It almost does literally push him. Let's ride on board with Venjok as the carnage now unravels here on lap 11, now coming into lap 12. Will Truly go for the move? And will this cause Fozzie to go for a move as well, as Truly does go for the move up into turn 1? I believe Fozzie's let Milan go through into P3 now. These guys are now going to battle it out down into Sector 1 split. Milan is on the back of Venjok as well. So he does now have front row seats for this battle for the Grand Prix. Venjok thinks better of it and sticks behind Truly. Battle's going on further back as Makatak and Sakir are battling out for P10. Paul is the first one to pit off the soft compound tyres and bolt on a set of those hard compound tyres. It's going to be 24 laps on them hard tyres. It's going to be interesting. As Jeremy gets his second 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. See Venjok has fallen back a little bit from Truly on this lap, but we'll soon reel that back in with DRS. Matt Cope now pits from the mediums. I'm sure he'll go onto the hards until the end. Same with Pancake. Ronald hasn't quite made the inroads he thought he would do after that moment with Venjok on lap 1, turn 1. I think it's 3 wide between those guys. Still within the mix though. Of course, like you can see, first down to 8th place, and Parsifal's having a great race actually, but first down to 8th place, all within DRS. Of course, they'll all be within contention of the win, because all it takes is one little bit of a moment, or one little incident, and it blows the race wide open. See Venjok hanging on for dear life through truly down 9 tenths the gap. He's going to have to hold on as the DRS detection zone is on the exit of this corner here. Does have a bit of a moment, and that's going to hamper him. And like I said, it's now 1.2 the gap, and he is going to now struggle as he falls into the clutches of his Dutch companion Milan Lange. And before the DRS is even activated, Milan has gone straight past him. He's going to want now the DRS of the Ferrari driver ahead, and he might just get it. 8.5 tenths now the gap through the centre S's. And he's managed to pull it off. So straight back into the contention of the lead. He's now 6 tenths behind Venjok. Fozzie's going to be looking to go for the move on Venjok. Down into the sector 1 split. It's a little bit of a contact. Venjok shuts the door on Fozzie. Manages to keep the podium position in P3. Fozzie does now have to gain a lot of ERS. He's down into teens. So he has a bit of a moment, and that allows Aguapo, Venjok's teammate, to come through. Fortunately, Ghosten is on for Fozzie, otherwise that would have been a bit of an incident. And Ronald now split between the 2 Kick Sauber guys. McLaren having a great race in P3 and P4, but Venjok has now dropped out DRS of Milan Lange. Start lap number 15 now. I'm surprised more drivers haven't peeled off into the pits. Of course, since Matt Coper and Pancake have pit, I thought there would be more reactions to the undercut, as Venjok reads my mind and peels off into the pits. Let's see where Matt Coper comes out in comparison to Venjok. Sorry. Of course, he has been overtaken by Pancake. But yeah, Matt Coper had to serve his 10-second time penalty, didn't he, under the yellow flags? Yeah, that's a bit annoying for Matt. Completely out of his hands, I imagine. So we go back to the tyres now. We see Venjok is going to come out in clean air, and that's going to be great for the undercut on the drivers ahead. Let's see, there's a little bit of a gap now formed between where Venjok was and Aguapo. See 2.2 seconds now on Fozzie, and Ronald right behind Aguapo, and I think they're going to try and take advantage of this, as now already before the detection zone, a little bit of DRS games going on here. I think Aguapo's thinking about going into the pits. I believe I'm right, as Ronald now takes advantage. It's going to be side by side into turn 1. Ronald gets the brakes, late on the brakes, and gets the move done ahead of both Kick Sauber guys now. Great move from the Mercedes driver and the championship leader. See Aguapo, who was level with Venjok, sorry. Let's see where he does now come out. See, he's the undercut is crazy. That's got to be about 3 seconds, 2.5 seconds. Look at that on the money, 2.6. So about 2.6 for an undercut is quite a ridiculous amount of time. So I think these guys, like Milan and like Lord James, they're going to be thinking about pitting soon, because they are the last of the medium runners in this lead pack. So Milan does peel off into the pits despite being in the DRS of Trulli. So Lord James thinks about going for the move on his teammate Fozzie. Thinks of it otherwise. Let's see where Milan comes out in comparison to the guys that he was battling with before the pit stops. See Venjok now coming down into turn 1 entry through the centre S's. And he's going to be battling with Milan Langer on the exit, I believe. It's going to be very close between these guys. Let's ride on board with Venjok. You can see Milan has actually got the overcut done. Somehow, I have no idea. Potentially Guapo just had a poor run just before Venjok did pit. You can see Milan has got a 2-lap tyre advantage over Venjok, and of course track position now once again. Be interested to see how long these guys on the hard tyres at the front do go. Of course, we're not even halfway through the race yet, and all the medium runners have pit, but Lord James and TS in the Aston Martin. As I say that, Lord James peels off into the pits. And Runnard and Fozzie having a little bit of a battle down into turn number 1. Runnard still stays out on top. Will Fozzie go for the move, or will these guys work together? They definitely will not be working together. As Fozzie now slots in front and has a bit of a moment, and Runnard will say thank you very much, straight back up into P2 after that move from Fozzie. But while that's happening, truly is increasing that gap now. It was 3.5, I believe, before these guys were battling. It's now 3.9 after Fozzie's moment. See, a few guys have now pit. Lord James has now come out behind Partsival. Milan has actually caught up to the back of FIFA Lord, who obviously had that moment at the start of the race. And we'll be praying for a safety car now, all of these hard tyre runners at the front. But as I say, the tyre deficit now from FIFA Lord to Milan Langer. Milan will definitely want to be getting the move done, as Fozzie now goes for the move once again down into turn 1. Will Runnard have a bit of a response? He does have a bit of a poor exit compared to the Kick Sauber driver. Venjok proves that these tyres are now the quickest, as he has a bit of a snap and makes a little bit of a contact with the Aston Martin driver, and that's going to hinder his exit, as him and FIFA Lord are now going to be battling. Obviously with the tyre advantage, Venjok does get past, but will lose out on DRS. You can see that FIFA Lord is not having any of it. Straight back up into P6. That is now going to really help Milan Langer escape from Venjok. You can see 2-lap old hards compared to 18-lap old hards. It's going to be a huge deficit. You can see 1.3 seconds now as we come through the sector 2. This is going to hold up Venjok all the while. Right on board with Runnard, as he does now fly past the Kick Sauber driver to start lap 20. Venjok does make the move on FIFA Lord, as Lord James also sets the fastest lap. Partsival makes the move on a Guapo, and there's all sorts of things going on here. As Guapo and Partsival go side by side into the centre S's. Lord James is going to try and take advantage of that. Gets the squeeze from Partsival. Partsival's ERS light is flashing, but he does get the move done on the Guapo. Is Lord James going to think about it? He does. Taps the rear of the Guapo. And it's P8 for Partsival, P9 for Guapo, and P10 for Lord James. These guys are going to now battle it out to the end of the race, all pit. But obviously Lord James does have that 2-lap tyre advantage, but he does have a 3-second penalty, I believe. 10-second penalty. That's definitely not going to help him at all. Our race leader truly comes into the pits, and I've really jinxed it. He's got a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and that is basically race over, unless he can get a massive pace advantage on those fresh medium tyres. The likes of Fozzie, Runnard, Milan, who is now going to take the net race lead. we have FIFA Lord now on lap 21 lap old hard tyres. I think he's going to try and hold out for a safety car as we have a bit of a moment. Side by side into turn number 1. Aguapo and Lord James going side by side. Parcel's got front row seats, and these guys, look at this now. It's going to be 3 wide down into turn number 4. I don't know where to look. 4 wide. That's never going to end well, but it has. Fozzie takes P5. Great racing from these guys. I can't believe they didn't crash there. 4 wide into turn number 4. So Runner makes the move on his teammate Parcel. It's all going on, all going on here. So we start lap number 23 now. Milan Langer is in the lead of this race. FIFA Lord does pit from their 21 lap old hards. Truly with the fastest lap. FIFA Lord, what is with these guys getting 10-second penalties and speeding in the pit lane? Oh, this race gets better and better. Svenjok is now going to be net P2. Jelma, I think that's his 3rd. Yeah, I think that's the best thing to do at that point, Jelma. Apologies, mate, but free speed in the pit lane. Yeah. Fozzie is now P. I think with Truly's 10-second penalty, it's going to put him into the podium spot. But of course, he has a running for company. Guapo, Parcel, and Macatak will just drop back a little bit after that 4-wide incident down into turn 4. Truly is now on the back of Milan Langer, but he will need to get that gap 10 seconds away from Milan Langer with 14 laps to go now. Let's ride on board with a Guapo. Let's see what carnage unravels down into lap 25. Hartsville goes around the outside. Will Macatak think about it as well? Lord James thinking about it on Macatak. Well backed out there from Lord James, but Macatak sticks his nose in and side by side through the centre S's for Aguapo and Macatak. They're going to keep going side by side. Good racing from these guys. So, Lord James is going to think about it. And it is still side by side between these guys. Pushed wide a little bit of Aguapo, but still sticking his nose in. And these guys are going to go side by side all the way through Sector 1 and straight into Sector 2. Macatak is the one that comes off better, but I really spoke that up there. As he has a massive moment, it takes Lord James and his teammate DPT Pool with him. Hopefully these guys can get back up and running once again. See, Truly's got the move done on Milan Langer. Benjok does have that clean air now, and Ronald has got past Fozzie for that P4 spot. But Fozzie, these guys have been battling back and forth all race, just by themselves, keeping themselves to themselves. And, hopefully they can have a mini DRS train to catch up to Benjok and battle out for that podium spot. You can see Parsful is still battling out with Aguapo as Paul retires from the session after that incident with his teammate. Matt Cope making inroads. Of course, he did serve that 10-second time penalty. So Lord James also pits after that incident as well. So that's now 5 guys that have retired, alone with a 3-second penalty down in P14. Speaking of penalties, let's have a bit of an update. So of course we've got our race leader at the moment, Truly, with the 10 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. TS with 10 seconds also. Matt Coper with 3 seconds, but of course he's already served his 10-second penalty, so he's not going to be able to get that back at the end of the race. FIFA Lord sticking it out for some points. Of course he did have to pit early after that incident on lap 1. And does have 10 seconds with that as well, but of course every single driver finishing today will have points. Obviously top 15 scores points in F1 Pro Boys, as Brushy Pancake retires as well. That's now 6 drivers that have retired from this race. With 10 laps to go now, Sakir in P9. But he does have Matt Coper for company as well as Back Attack as well. I hope Back Attack doesn't have any damage from that incident. I don't think he does. So yeah, pack is sort of split now. We have a few terrains here and there. We have the lead pack of Trulli and Milan. And look at that. Look who's caught up to Venjok. Let's put it back to the tyres so you guys can see who's on what. And it's Venjok, Runnard and Fozzie now. These guys are going to battle out to the end of the race. And Fozzie's got front row seats. For the battle between these guys into the centre S's. Great move from Runnard there. And it's going to be a bit of a squeeze from Venjok. But he does stick his nose in Fozzie. These guys are going to DRS and ERS. And that's a little bit of contact. And Venjok is the one that remains in P3 after all that. So Runnard goes from P3 to P5 in a matter of corners, and Fozzie's going to think about going for the move up into turn number 6, and he does go for it. What a dive from Fozzie, and he makes it stick. That's a great move from the Kick Saber guy. These guys are going to battle it out to the end. This is why I wanted these guys to catch up. Very unorthodox move from Fozzie. Probably the overtake of the race so far for me, actually. This runner now gets the ERS and the DRS activated. Then Jock's dropped back a little bit. Of course, he's on those hard tyres that have done 13 laps. These guys have the fresher tyres on the mediums. And he'll be looking to stay in touch with the Mercedes and Kick Sauber driver. Which I'm sure he will, as these guys go back and forth and love battling. As you can see now coming up into turn 4. Fozzie does get the move done before the corner though, and that will be P3 for him. So start at lap 29 now. Trulli still in the lead of the race, but obviously he does have that 10-second penalty. Milan is the net race winner at the moment. If he can just stick within DRS of the medium tyre runner in P1, I'm sure he will get this win. As you can see, Runnard, Fozzie and Venjok going at it for that last podium spot. Riding ball with Sakir now as he does overtake TS. He does have a bit of a moment and falls back into the clutches of Mac Attack. Parcel's had a great race, the tier 3 driver sticking it out in P7. Obviously Sakir does have the fresher tyres on the medium tyres, sorry. So he might actually catch Parcel towards the end of the race. But I believe this is the battle to watch at the moment. 4P3, Runnard, Fozzie and Venjok. Parcel does go for the move on a Guapo, and Runner gets a 3-second penalty. And that's not going to help him at all for that podium spot. And Fozzie says, thank you very much, pass him. And will Venjok go for the move as well? He thinks better of it. Goes for the sensible option and sticks behind the Mercedes driver. But of course, he is net P4 at the moment with that 3-second penalty for Runnard. Oh, as Fozzie has a massive snap. I managed to save it just about. Luckily, there's no contact like the Mac attack incident. But of course, with that 3 seconds, that does put Venjok ahead of Runnard in this race, and it's chipping away at his championship lead at the moment. So we have a yellow flag in sector 2. I believe that's FIFA Lord. Is definitely going to chalk this race off as a loss. By no fault of his own, I believe, on lap 1, as you can see Runnard going for Fozzie now. And they slot back into line, down into the center S's. Guapo and Parsifal going at it once again. Bit of a lonely race up front for these guys. Bit gutting for Truly, as he drove a great race actually, but it's just that 10-second penalty got for pitting, or for speeding in the pit lane, sorry, when he did pit. Mac Attack gets another 3-second penalty. That's not going to help him out for that top 10 finish. Milan Langer going under the radar, staying sensible and consistent within DRS. And I do think he will, touch wood, come home for a race win here as Fozzie goes for another move on Runnard. These guys are constantly back and forth. Parsifal and Guapo, same as well. You can see Matt Coper now going for a move on Mac Attack, I believe, into the center S's. Might get the switchback here, go around the outside of the Williams driver. Doesn't quite get the momentum though. See that gap slowly closing between Sakir and Aguapo, so these guys might join the train of Parsifal and Aguapo with the final few laps to go, but not with snaps like that, Sakir. DRS enabled for the McLaren driver, and he will make the move down into turn number 1. So, TS also goes for the move on Sakir. Must have had a little bit of a moment, Sakir, or just didn't get. He is very low on the ERS as Matt Coper thinks about it on the inside of Mac Attack. And with all due respect, Mac Attack's record into that corner, you do not want to be sticking a nose in. Respectfully. As let's ride on board with Milan as we come up to start lap number 34. Truly might get a helping hand of DRS from FIFA Lord coming down into the center S's. I'm just taking a quick look at the race results. I believe Milan hasn't even had a podium this season, so this will be one way to chalk off that record. As Sakir goes for the move once again on TS down in P8. I do believe his best finish is P4. That's Milan, sorry. P5. Yes. P5 is his best finish in Austria. And I believe this battle's going to go right to the wire. Of course, Runner does have that 3-second penalty, but these guys are tooth and nail. And they're not going to let the 3-second penalty ruin any racing. So FIFA Lord sets the fastest lap on the soft tyres. Yellow flag into sector 2. I believe that is a loon. Please manage to get going once again. So we start the penultimate lap now. Truly in P1, Milan P2. Fozzy straight up the inside for P3 now. Kind of hanging on for dear life. Guapo going for the move up into P6. I think for Runnard's sake, he's going to be wanting to stay behind Fozzy until that final lap. Benjok is going to be wanting to get past Runnard, definitely, to try and get that podium position off Fozzy. These guys all have fairly low ERS. Fozzy the winner with that one on 46%. Obviously through the sector 2 split, you're going to want to save us up as much as you can. Starting the final lap now, Trulli and Milan are on lap 36. Fozzy is at the moment in P3. I think he eases off a little bit there to let Runnard through. And whether that's a good or bad idea, we will see as we have about a minute to go of racing here in F1 Break Boys Tier 1. Moves going left, right and centre behind these guys. Sakir up into P8. It's half a second separating these guys for the podium. Saving as much ERS as they possibly can. But one guy who won't be saving ERS as much as he possibly can is Milan Langer. He doesn't need any ERS because he has definitely won this race, coming up to the DRS straight. And he comes up with Trulli winning the race on track. It's Milan Langer who wins round 6 here in F1 Broke Boys. A dominant drive from the Aston Martin driver. It's a shame that Trulli got his 10-second penalty because that would have been the win for him. But up to the line, it's Runnard who gets demoted down to P3. And I think Fozzy might have had a moment. I've completely missed that, I do apologise, but Benjok does get P3 ahead of his championship rival, Runnard, down into P4. Fozzy, don't know what happened there, into P5, it's Guapo, into P6, Passful P7, Sakir P8, Matt Coper rounds off the top 10 with Makatak in P9, and TS obviously getting promoted to P10, but obviously Fozzy did have that P5. And FIFA Lord rounding off the finishes. Like I mentioned, didn't have the greatest of races because of that lap 1 incident after Bat McLean did retire on track, which wasn't ideal at all. But there you have it. That was the Brazilian Grand Prix, the Mystery Grand Prix. Driver of the day on track is Parcel, but as I mentioned in the Tier 6 stream yesterday, it is the commentator that chooses the driver of the day in all tiers. Let's take a look at the race results when EA Sports eventually loads them up. There we go, Milan Langer with his first top 3 finish of the season and his first race win of the season to gain points on his championship rivals around him. Truly in P2 after that dominant drive, but the 10-second penalty did hamper him in the end. Benjok with a well-driven race in P3 to defeat his championship rival in P4, Runnard. Guapo, great race from himself and Parsful as well, up from P17 to P6 down finish. Sakir in P7 for the Hash driver. Makatak had a little bit of a dicey race, but finishes P8 nonetheless. Matt Coper and TS round off the top 10, but I think Fozzy will jump up into the mix. I'll have to screenshot my stream further back. I think he did end up finishing around here. But it's FIFA Lord to P12, and here are your DNFs. So yeah, that was the Brazilian Grand Prix, the mystery round. Make sure you tune in next week for round 7. It is Austin Circuit of the Americas, I believe. Yeah, tune in next week. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.